Hey guys, welcome to the channel. I'm Aaron and this is A-Rob's Garage. Here we specifically talk about anything related to building cars. This is the first of several videos that will feature my car, my 1968 Mustang Fastback named Bullitt Reloaded. Now a little bit of history about the car. Now when I bought the car, it was completely original, minus the 302 that replaced the 289 and a Hurst shifter. Other than that, it was completely original, completely a factory car, C4 automatic transmission, 279 gears. So now I enjoyed that car for about 2 years. And then in 2014, my dad met me up at Brainerd International Raceway with his 2013 Camaro ZL1. I brought my Mustang, not there to race, but more for nostalgic reasons, just having a cool muscle car, maybe take a couple laps in the car. Well, before we got going for the day, I took my Mustang Fastback out for the warm-up lap. Now, the cars in my group would follow the instructor for a warm-up lap for all of us to get used to the track. The instructor took a SRT Challenger. I think it was a 2012 or 2013 SRT Challenger. The car behind him was a Cadillac CTS-V. Then it was my dad in his 2013 Camaro ZL1, and then me in my 1968 Fastback. It was a disaster from the start. I had a hard time keeping up in the corners and in the straightaways. The C4 transmission with those 279 gears were just not cutting it. And then the flat seats into the corners were causing me to slide around. Basically not keeping me up in the seats at all. I only had a lap belt, seat belt to help me there too. I was halfway through the lap, and at that point I couldn't wait to get out of the car and get off the track. It was a complete nightmare. It was right then and there that I decided that the car is going to need some serious upgrades. Now I will talk about specific details about the car in another video, but I will just highlight a few before I present the car. The 302 started developing a tick, and I decided that I'm going to need a new engine. I don't know very much about the carbureted old pushrod motors. I have rebuilt a couple of 4.6 Cobra motors, and that was primarily my experience. So I decided that I wanted to go with a 5.0 Coyote. Now back in 2014, it was really the ramp up to when the Coyote motors were being swapped into Fox body Mustangs and earlier Mustangs. So upon further research, there was not much of a difference between the F-150s and the Mustang GTs. And due to budgeting reasons, I decided to go with a 2014 5.0 motor out of an F-150. Now, I knew the intake cams were immediately different, and so I ended up buying a set of Boss 302 cams due to the price not being very much different from the Mustang GTs. So I replaced the cams and then paired that with some ARP bolts for the cams themselves, the cam cradles, and then also I replaced the cams, or the bolts. I replaced the bolts in the cam phasers as well. The next major upgrade to the engine were my long tube headers. The long tube headers that I have are from Doug's Headers, and they fit nicely with my suspension, which brings me to my next topic, the suspension. For suspension, the front suspension, I ended up going with total cost involved, their Mustang 2 setup, along with their Ford motor mounts. And then for the rear suspension, I went with the TCI's 3-link rear suspension with the single adjustable coilovers. And I paired that with Mosier 9-inch rear end housing and racing axles, along with Detroit True Track differential with 373 gears. Now, as I built this car, I really wanted to build something that Steve McQueen himself would have wanted today, specifically in an old car. So along with maybe something that he would want to drive, along with my own ideas, I wanted to build a car that represented that, and I also wanted the name to reflect that. So without further ado, I bring to you Bullitt Reloaded. That's it for today's video. Hey, in the comments below, let me know what you guys think of the car. If you like today's video, stomp that like button and hit the subscribe button if you want to get notified when I have future videos come out. Again, thanks again for watching.